Boa Hancock is one of the most anticipated characters we could see in Netflix's One Piece live-action series in the future. There hasn't been an official casting announcement yet, but fans are already talking about many different names. Recently, one name in particular has started to stand out: Davika Hoorne. So would Davika really be the right choice for Boa Hancock? I used to consider different names for this role, but after watching her, my opinion changed. And today, that's exactly what we're going to talk about: why Davika Hoorne could be the perfect choice for live-action Boa Hancock. I used to always think of names like Alexandra Daddario for Boa Hancock. Because of her facial features, her eyes, and her recognition in Hollywood, I used to say, yes, maybe she could work. But honestly, that was more of a safe fan cast idea. It wouldn't have been bad, and viewers could have gotten used to it. But I never had that strong feeling inside that made me say, okay, this is really Hancock. Then, when I started thinking more seriously about Davika Hoorne, my opinion completely changed. After watching Davika Hoorne, you really notice something. This woman is very close to Boa Hancock, not only physically, but also in terms of energy. Her facial expressions, her gaze, her posture, the way she still looks powerful on screen even when she is silent. These are very important details for Hancock. Because Hancock is not a character who constantly shouts or constantly tries to prove herself. On the contrary, she is someone who can often control a scene with just her eyes. Davika has that natural screen presence too. The actress who plays Boa Hancock cannot just look beautiful. Inside that character, there is arrogance, royalty, trauma, pride, and at the same time, a very different, more vulnerable and funny side that appears around Luffy. So the actress cannot stay in only one tone. In one scene, she needs to look like the Empress of Amazon Lily, and in another scene, she needs to become a funny character who completely loses her balance around Luffy. I think Davika Hoorne looks like an actress who could carry those transitions. Especially Boa Hancock's "No One Can Touch Me" aura will be very difficult to capture in live action. In the anime, that effect is created with animation, music, and exaggerated reactions. But in live action, you need to deliver that through a real actress's face, body language, and scene energy. That is exactly what makes Davika strong. She does not just look beautiful. When she looks into the camera, she can make you feel like the character really has a past, power, and status. One of the most important things Netflix has done so far with the One Piece live-action series is that they tried to cast actors who fit not only the characters' appearances, but also their souls. We saw that with Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Sanji, and Usopp. So when a huge character like Boa Hancock arrives, the same level of care is needed. Because if Hancock is played wrong, she could feel artificial, look too much like cosplay, or lose that powerful impact the character has. But with someone like Davika, I think that risk becomes much smaller. And we also need to say this: Boa Hancock is not a character who appears later in One Piece just for fan service. She has a much bigger place in the story. With Amazon Lily, the Kuja pirates, the world government, the warlord system, and her relationship with Luffy, Hancock is one of those characters who can suddenly make the tone of the series feel much bigger. That's why Netflix should not think small with this role. They need to make a choice that will explode on social media the moment she appears on screen and make people say, okay, this works. I think this is exactly why Davika Hoorne is being talked about so much among fans. People don't just see Hancock's beauty in her, they also see that Empress energy. The long black hair aesthetic, sharp facial features, elegant but powerful appearance, and cold queen presence on screen fit the character incredibly well. In fact, while watching her, I kept thinking, if this woman played Boa Hancock, Netflix could really capture something huge. Of course, the important thing here is this: Davika Hoorne has not officially been cast as Boa Hancock right now. So it would not be right to present this as Netflix cast her. But as a fan cast, in my opinion, she is one of the most logical and exciting options. In fact, for me, she has now moved ahead of older fan cast ideas like Alexandra Daddario, because Davika feels closer not only to Hancock's appearance, but also to the aura that this character needs to carry. If Netflix really makes a deal with Davika Hoorne for Boa Hancock, I think this could become one of the strongest casting moves in the One Piece live-action series. Because with the right costume, the right hair design, the right makeup, and strong scene direction, the moment Davika appears on screen, viewers could say, yes, this is Boa Hancock. For me, the answer is very clear right now. The perfect choice for Boa Hancock would be Davika Hoorne. So what do you think? Do you think Davika Hoorne would be the right choice for Boa Hancock in Netflix's live-action One Piece? Or do you have another actress in mind? Make sure to write it in the comments, because I'm genuinely curious about your fan cast suggestions. If you want to see more videos about One Piece live action, Netflix series, and new casting news, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment. That's all from me for now, and I'll see you in the next video.